On Afghanistan, it's fairly easy to tell a feel-good story about improvement in people's lives because what you're comparing to, if you look at statistical trends, is years first of Soviet invasion, then civil war and anarchy, and then Taliban rule. And measured against those three periods, which dominated the last quarter century until 2001, things are much better today. And this is one of the areas of talking points that many of us observed and listened to government officials tout through those early years of the ISAF presence, when we hoped that Afghanistan was going to be at least a limited success story. Because whether it's 7 million kids now in school, as opposed to less than 1 million under the Taliban, 7 million telephone users, as opposed to maybe a few hundred thousand, probably a few tens of thousands under the Taliban. Number of girls in school, well over 2 million today, virtually zero under the Taliban. Economic growth rate, admittedly driven largely by foreign aid and opium, so that's not healthy. It's an artificial stimulus, but the growth rates are in the 10 to 15% per year range. These kind of numbers are not that bad. The problem is, of course, that with the security environment deteriorating, it doesn't mean that much because people worry first and foremost about security, and secondly, they wonder if all those improvements in human welfare are really sustainable in the absence of a security environment that holds together. Because again, even if the security environment has not been horrible per se in terms of fatalities against civilians, it's been headed all in the wrong direction for a half decade. And so I would like to take more comfort in the good news on the economic and human welfare side than I find I'm able to do. I think until we arrest the deterioration of the security environment, we're still going to be in some jeopardy. But let me finish on a more positive note. I actually think we have arrested the deterioration of the security environment. But I think we're sort of at a plateauing stage. And the plateau right now is not sustainable, obviously. If it requires 70 to 100,000 U.S. troops, losing 200 to 300 soldiers per year, allies, with almost comparable contributions and investments, we have to do much better than, level things off. We have to actually build up an Afghan state that can do this job increasingly on its own. So again, in 2010, watch for Afghans' perceptions, local progress in the places where we've added a lot of forces, and early signs that the Afghan institutions are performing better. And those are the three areas where I'd like to leave you with my emphasis.